In this video, I'm going to take you through an emotional freedom technique exercise, which is also known as EFT tapping. This exercise is going to help you to let go of anger that you might not even realize that you're still carrying from childhood trauma that you experienced. As I take you through this exercise, you're going to repeat what I say either out loud or silently to yourself. The key is that you're actually going to focus on what you're feeling in your body, the thoughts that you're thinking about yourself, and the situation as we go through this exercise. And that's going to be what lets you work through the anger and release those emotional blockages. But what I don't want you to do is go so deep into the memory that you're re-traumatizing yourself, because it was bad enough to go through that thing the first time, let alone to continue torturing yourself again with the painful memory of the past. We're going to say 3 setup statements by doing the karate chop on the side of our hand. So you can either do this or you can do this. Then we're going to go to our eyebrows, which is right here in the center of your forehead. Then we're going to go to the outer eye. We're going to go under the eye. We're going to go under the nose. We're going to go to the chin. We're going to go to the collarbone. Now it's important with the collarbone that you're focusing right on that pointy part where the U is. There's a little divot there, and that's really where you want to focus. And then after that, we're going to go to our underarm. So you can reach around and give yourself a hug, or you can just do this on your one side, but it would be in the general bra strap area if you are a woman or a female. We will end by going to the top of our head. And we're gonna do this for several rounds. And as we're going through each round, you might experience some physical sensations in your body. You might feel this uncontrollable urge to yawn. You might cry. And I'll say, if you cry, I want you to stop the round and I want you to just tap on your collarbone and breathe until the emotion subsides if you are overwhelmed with crying. I do not want you to close your eyes because it takes you deeper into that moment. So keep your eyes closed and tap on your collarbone until you feel calm again, and then you can return to the tapping sequence. You might also feel a change in your body temperature. So when I am tapping, I know that it's working and the emotional blockages are being released because I go from cold to extremely hot, like fire hot, like I am literally on fire. And so that is how I know that EFT tapping is working for me. You might also experience some tingling in your fingers, like that pins and needle feeling, or you might feel some muscle tension in your body. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start by chopping on the side of our hands, and we're going to say, even though I still feel this deep anger from my childhood, I accept myself and how I feel. Even though I am holding on to anger from my past, I choose to accept myself and allow myself to heal. Even though this anger is hard to release, I accept myself and love myself unconditionally. Now we're going to move to the eyebrow and say, this anger from my childhood. We're going to move to the side of the eye and say, all of this anger I've been holding on to for so long. Now we're going to the under eye. We're going to say, it feels so intense and it's hard to let go. We're going under the nose and we're going to say, I've held this anger for years. And we're going to the chin and we're going to say, it's been with me and a part of me for so long. And we're going to go to the collarbone and say, I'm afraid to release it because it's all I've known. And now we're going under the arm. We're going to say, this anger has kept me safe and protected in many ways. And we're going to go to the top of the head and we're going to say, but I don't need it anymore and I'm ready to let it go. And now I just want you to take a deep breath and check in with yourself to see how you feel. So hopefully after that first round, you felt the intensity of the emotions start to come down a bit. So now we're gonna go for round 2. And we're gonna start back with our karate chopping on the side of our hand. And we're going to say this, even though I still have this deep anger from my childhood, I accept myself and how I feel. Even though I'm still holding on to anger from my childhood, I choose to accept myself and be open for healing. Even though this lingering anger is hard to release, I accept myself and love myself unconditionally. We're going to go back to the eyebrow and say, this lingering anger from my childhood. We're going to go to the outer eye and we're going to say, this anger that I've been holding on to for so long is still here. And we're going to go under the eye and we're going to say, even though this anger is still here, it's starting to feel less intense. We're going to go under the nose and we're going to say, this anger has been here with me for so long that it's hard to let go. We're going to go to the chin and we're going to say, it's been with me for so long, so I'm still holding on to some of this anger. We're going to go to the collarbone and we're going to say, I'm still afraid to release it because it's all I've known. We're going to go under the arm and we're going to say, I still feel like I need this anger with me because it still protects me in some ways. And we're going to go to the top of the head and say, but I don't need it anymore because it served me for long enough and I'm ready to let it go now. And when you're ready, you're just going to take a deep breath and check in with yourself to see how you feel. We're going to go ahead and do a third round. So we're going to go back to the karate chop, and we're going to say, even though I still feel this deep anger from my childhood, I'm ready to accept myself and how I feel. Even though I'm still holding on to some of this anger, I choose to accept myself and be open to healing. Even though this anger is hard to release, I choose to love myself and accept myself unconditionally. We're going to go to the eyebrow and say, this anger comes from my childhood. We're going to go to the outer eye and say, I didn't feel safe or heard back then. We're going to go under the eye and we're going to say, but I'm an adult now and I am safe. We're going to go under the nose and say, I honor myself for how strong I've been to survive. Now we're going to go to the chin and say, but I don't need to hold on to this anger any longer. We're going to go to the collarbone and say, I am releasing this anger now, little by little. We're going to go under the arm and say, I deserve peace, so I'm choosing to let it go. And we're going to go to the top of the head and say, I'm open to healing, and I'm ready to feel calm and free. So when you're ready, go ahead and take a deep breath and check in with yourself to see how you feel. So this is the last round of this EFT tapping sequence, and this is where we tap in the positive and what we want instead of the anger. So we're not going to do the setup statements this time. We're going to go straight to the eyebrow, and this is what we're going to say. I am safe now, and I release this anger. We're going to go to the outer eye and say, I forgive myself for holding on to this anger for so long. We're going to go under the eye and say, I give myself permission to let go of the past. We're going to go under the nose and say, I'm choosing peace over anger. We're going to go to the chin and say, I am worthy of healing. We're going to go to the collarbone and say, I embrace peace, love, and forgiveness. We're going to go under the arm and say, I am releasing this anger for good. We're going to go to the top of the head and say, I am calm, I am free, I am at peace. And when you're ready, go ahead and check in with yourself and see how you feel. That is the end of this EFT tapping sequence. And so what you can do now is take a little bit of time to reflect on anything that came up, emotions, memories, thoughts, beliefs that you've had, and take time to journal about them and see where it takes you. And if you feel like you need more help, maybe you're still feeling stuck, lost, or overwhelmed, be sure to check out my Figuring This Shit Out series. And in the description, there's also a link if you'd like to dive a little bit deeper. I have a special EFT tapping session that I'd love to help you with.